Alright, so we know that this is such a bad time for all of this, but we gotta start somewhere. Episode 2 is still upon us, and we gotta make ourselves hyped to play it, you know? So let's just go through another theory. And also, know this is not the end. Also, the script was written before the news broke, so it might feel all happy. But today, we're gonna talk about 3 things in this video. Yes, I know. 3 for the price of 1. We were about to avoid it, but I guess it's important, so here we are. 2 screenshots from episode 2 and that boot thingy we talked about in our last video. Let's get started. Hey guys, I'm Nicole, the narrator for SmackNPie, and you're watching The Guy Gaming Show, which is run and owned by Smack. Alright, so before we begin, feel free to hit that subscribe button, as we upload Walking Dead and Life is Strange content, and become an official member of SmackNPie. Alright, so a few days ago, when Telltale released the trailer on Monday, they also posted another screenshot on their Twitter. At first, we overlooked it, because we thought it's a zombie or something. But then, look again. You'll see a guy wearing a mask in a shh pose behind Clementine. At first, he might look like a threat, but he's not. Upon looking here and there and through comments of that picture, you can easily find that he's a whisperer. Now, if you're confused as to who the heck is a whisperer, don't worry, we were confused as well. But they're from the comics. Their story is weird, especially if you're trying to tie the comic story into the game. Now, what's really interesting is that this guy is familiar. By familiar, we're not saying that we know who he is as opposed to his background or stuff, but as in, he's someone we're kinda sorta familiar with. Remember the James guy from the leaks and Monday's trailer? This guy right here is the same as this guy from the screenshot. Look at his jacket. It matches smoothly with James when he was sitting by the fire. And lastly, he's gonna be our ally, hopefully. Because he, character-wise, as he's presented from the trailer, doesn't look that much threatening. Threatening like Abel or Lily. Now let's talk about the second screenshot. Again, we ignored it at first, but then the internet reminded us it's not. So you see the screenshot from the Monday trailer? People were talking about this frame specifically, saying this is the greenhouse. At first, we ignored it, but Telltale posted this picture on their Twitter again, and this time, it's something not to ignore. One of the reasons people are speculating that this is the greenhouse, it's because of the overgrown environment around Clem and that walker. So this ties with the achievements of botanist, and this confirms our theory of Clem going to the greenhouse, because it makes sense. We don't have that many areas or places left to hunt, now that Marlon and Brody are gone. Sorry that came out as rude for someone's death, but in the apocalypse, we gotta move on. So that's an up for the greenhouse. And speaking of sequence, the final thing to talk about is the Raiders. Remember the last video where we said whose boot is this? Let's go deep into it. Is it possible that while we're on our way back from the greenhouse to the school, we get signs that we're about to get attacked tonight or soon? 100% possible. Raider signs of coming back to the school were already mentioned by Marlon and Brody. It's something inevitable, sooner or later. But with Clem confronting Abel, and depending on the choice of either shoving him into walkers or letting him go with food, it's gonna come into play. And for those of you who are saying that if you attack him, he's dead. No, he's not. The walker behind him had no jaw. He didn't get bit. You can hear gunshots while he's there. Add that with the leaks of him. You get yourself an angry Abel, along with Raiders, ready to fully charge and attack. One more thing here. Isn't it embarrassing for adults to attack kids? Like, think about it. The whole school is just kids trying to survive. But so do adults. But adults attacking kids is freaking embarrassing for adults, isn't it? Like, this has gotta be something Clem's gonna use when they raid. And I know people are gonna say that it's the apocalypse, everyone's trying to survive. Doesn't matter if they're adults or kids. Still, think about it. With that, one more thing. Is it possible that that boot was Minerva's, Lily's, or Abel's? Let's go a bit deeper on how it could work for each. First, let's start with the weaker point, Minerva. We know that it's not confirmed yet that she's dead or alive, but we know that she was traded to Raiders, the same Raiders that are about to attack the school. Upon knowing that the same school traded her for their safety, she can easily get massively upset, and since we're playing as a leader role, for now, Lily or whoever's the leader can be like, there you go, that's the leader that traded you before. Because know this, even the Raiders don't know the full story. While many can attack Clem depending on that situation, Violet can come in and save the situation. But with her getting involved, the whole scenario could get even more complicated, with many being frustrated as to why Violet didn't help over. It's a possibility. Weak, but still a possibility. Then let's talk about Lily. It's still weak, but let's see how it could play out. Suppose raiders attack the school. Everyone in the school try to fight back, but they're outnumbered both in numbers and weapons. Which brings us to our second point. Imagine this as a dramatic scene. Clem and the rest of the school are on the ground with AJ being held by Abel, and Lily comes in and puts her boot on Clem's neck and says, "So you're alive?" or something like that. It doesn't really matter, because she's from season 1. Whatever she and Clem are gonna have in their conversation, it's gonna be good. Which leads us to our final point. This boot could belong to Abel, because it makes sense. Abel's attacking because you attacked him first. Also, his boot detail doesn't fully match, but somewhat matches. Also, Abel doing that with Lily entering the school and seeing Clem, with Clem fighting back from Abel to face Lily. All in all, possibilities are countless, and each possibility brings story to an amazing and interesting point. None of these are lame or makes you feel like that doesn't make any sense. Anyways, with that being said, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe with notifications on and become an official member of SmackNPie. I'm Nicole, and until next time, take care and keep gaming.